also known as Bobby. Lately I've been doing a few videos about Uber Eats and what it's like to be an Uber Eats delivery guy. I mostly do it on an electric bike, but like sport, more like city bike kind of thing. Like, anyways, a bit differently. You can check my video about my bike and the setup I'm using as an Uber Eats driver. So because I'm talking about what it's like to be an Uber Eats guy, I thought it would be a very interesting video to make about how to make your tax return. I'm not an expert. Anything I will say is not like legal tax advice or anything, but I think it's overhyped, and not overhyped, but people think it's really complicated to do. And if you know a little bit about computing and technology, it's actually pretty simple. So what you will need, I would say, is a computer. You might not need the computer, you might be able to do it with your cell phone, or maybe just go to the library. But the way I will show it to you is first with the help of the ATO app. So the app is called ATO, ATO. You just look it up on the Google Play Store and you'll be able to find it. You open it, and so here's like an example. I'll show you exactly what I did with some screen capture that I have. Basically, you just add your expenses and your income, and you're all good. You can only upload all your data from that app once a year, so make sure you've put everything on the app. If you haven't, you can just update what you put before you lodge your tax, but yeah, it's easier with the app. I'll show you in the rest of the video. Yeah, let's get to it. Here's some screen capture of my laptop and my phone, and here's how I just fill everything in and put my taxes. So I would say that the very first thing to do before you start entering all your data into the app and the website is that you want to have all your documents ready. One of the big thing that you have to do is going on the Uber Eats website to just get your data, so just log in onto the website, and on top, very straightforward, you have the tax summary little tab. You just click on it, and there you have all your monthly summary. You just download them, and that's basically all the information you will need, at least for your income and your expenses, like directly related to Uber. Then there are the other expenses. To be sure of the fact that what I'm telling is actually accurate, I've used a little website called drivetax.com.au. They have like articles about tax for food delivery and Uber Eats and things like that. What they want to sell you in the end is they want to get you in their system, and once you're in their system, they'll ask you for 50 or $100 just to enter data in like sheets and websites. So my video here will be about just going around them. Of course, if your situation is as simple as mine, it's pretty easy to do. I'm guessing in some cases it might be more complicated, so maybe you can check them out and they might be able to help you further than what I'm just saying here. So in the app, there'll be two main things you want to do. First thing is put your income, and second thing is put your deduction and expenses. To do that, you just launch the app. On top, you can select your financial year, and here I'm gonna click on add business income to enter. I would suggest the number that you get on your monthly summary from Uber Eats. Here I'm just gonna click on that. You just enter the income. Usually I did it by the last day of the month, so if it's for March, I just like, okay, I got paid that by the end of the month. So here it's 31st of March. I only worked a couple weeks, so I didn't make much. And you just put a little description of the income. Usually very pretty simple. Try to maybe use common words with what you find on your summary. Here I say gross Uber Eats ride fare income because it's what it says on the paper, on the document that Uber Eats provide. And you just click save, and then that's it, and it adds up. Here I'm just gonna repeat it for the following months. I haven't recorded the June one because I received it later on, but yeah, just here. First it was March, then April, May, whatever month you worked, you just input them. As for the type of payment, I would suggest putting transfer, because basically what Uber Eats does is send you the transfer directly on your bank account. So payment type would be, payment method would be transfer. When you're doing that across the year, I would suggest using the backup option that they offer you, to just put it on Google Drive or another location or whatever, just to make sure that if you have any problem with your phone, you still have the data somewhere and you don't have to do that again. It's not a big deal, but anyways, here I'm showing the expense I've already entered. For example, bought my bike. I'm mostly using my bike for Uber Eats, so about 95% of my use of the bike is claimable. So I just put 95% and they just calculate whatever they need to calculate on it. Any expense that you have with your Uber Eats business, you can claim, and you just enter them. Maybe put a picture of the receipt, keep the receipt in a safe place, and you're all good. At the end of the year, it'll make a big difference claiming as much expenses as you can. Yeah, I finally then got the June report, June tax summary, so I could enter my June and upload. As I mentioned, you can only upload once, so that, at least that's what the app says. I haven't tried it, but I think you can only upload it once, so make sure that it's complete before you upload. Here I'm just entering my June income and expenses. In the expenses, don't forget to put the fares that Uber Eats tax you. In the tax summary income, you'll have a detail of your gross income and what the 25%, I think around 25% that they take from each ride that you take, and that's an expense that you pay to Uber to use their service, basically. So you can definitely, and you should claim that as an expense for your business, because it's money you're not getting. It doesn't feel like you're spending it, but in a way, the way Uber Eats works makes it as like you're actually charging the customer the gross income and part of it, and it's automatic, but technically it's two different transactions. so you kind of like getting the full amount and paying that to Uber. But because the client pays directly to Uber, it's just Uber that just deals with it. But yeah, that's technically an expense, and it's two different transactions legally. So once you've entered all your data and you're sure that you've got everything, I would suggest making a little backup before doing the upload, and then you can go on. So to upload everything to your tax return account, you click on settings. There at the bottom you have upload to tax return. You just read that bit, accept, depending on if you're registered. So I'm not registered as I'm doing Uber Eats, and so I don't pay the GST along the year. Since my net income or gross income, I don't remember, is like lower than whatever number, I kind of like don't have to care about GST, which is a real nice perk. If you are driving people, you actually have to register for GST. So what I'm doing here is for Uber Eats. If you're doing Uber in general and driving people and a car, etc., it might not be of great help to you. So yeah, then you just keep going on. There's a bit of a summary of what you entered, and then they just ask you. You can always come back unless you've until you've pressed the button. So once you press login to my account, it's gonna charge a little bit. Got a loading thing, and then here's the MyGov. It links you to the MyGov website. Hopefully you've already created your MyGov account. If not, it's not that complicated. You just enter your data and things like that that you have on your visa or on your official paperwork and everything, and it's pretty straightforward. I had an issue because my middle name wasn't on my visa and things like that. You just give them a phone call and they work it out for you. It's pretty easy. Read whatever they want you to know and you click accept and upload. Alright, so now that we have uploaded all the data that we encoded in the app onto the MyGov website, the ATO website, we can now go to that website, ato.gov.au. When you log in, they'll ask you a bunch of questions. Kind of like depends on your situation and everything. You just fill those in. Honestly, it's not that complicated. Each time it can be a bit more complicated. You just need to click on the link and check your situation, do a bit of reading. Nothing too hard, maybe like a couple of pages that you need to read. Hopefully you can understand what they're asking you and just answer. So you go on. Since you just made the upload, they'll notify you. Okay, so you made an upload, you need to check those data. So yeah, they just ask you what kind of money you made, so salary and things like that. If you had normal work as an employee on the side, you just need to put it into it too. With most of your employers, they'll already know. And you keep going. Just take any case that corresponds to you. Probably you have the small business tax offset that you should claim because you're a small business. Unless you make more than a certain amount, it's up to you to check and to tell them. These are my bunch of other works, and mainly what is our focus here is the business sole trader part. Since we just made the upload, actually we don't even have to enter any number. We just need to tell them that it's not personal service income. My business is actually registered as IT services, and I do Uber Eats on the side. It's my first time, so it's a commons business. So if it's not, just say whatever it is. You type the name of your business and the labels. You give them your ABN, address, etc., etc., etc. I am not sure if it's actually good. Like, it's kind of using the internet because it's Uber Eats, so I just said yes. But we're not like trading or selling on the internet. That's like my net income because of the money I deducted. My business income is that much. I think it's actually need to be 10 times that number for you to have to declare GST or something like that. I don't have much, honestly. Like I said previously, my situation is pretty simple. I've been here like 3 months. I've done Uber Eats, just put a bunch of things on that app, uploaded it, and it's pretty straightforward. I don't have any superannuation and like nothing. Everything's been uploaded by the app, so just you have to check it to just make sure that the app did its work. Maybe if you forgot something, you just need to add it. That's about it. So I spent $4,000 on my business, mainly the bicycle, a bunch of other things, and also a lot of the fees for Uber Eats. My gross income is 7,000, so it ends up being like around 3,000, and they'll just take GST and whatever on it, not much. Enter those, you save. Oh yeah, you actually have on that part they like put the little mark and say you must enter the number in the field below. So there's actually something manual because here everything I did was automatic. So you actually have to say that your actual business income and whatever income is of 3,000. In the offset, as I said, you should claim the small business tax offset. As an Uber Eats worker, you're actually a small business owner, even though it doesn't really feel like it, but it is. So you can claim like $30 in my case. It's not a much, but we'll take everything we can. I'm a working holiday visa person, so I just have to like click a bunch of things, going back and just get the right number, enter it. Whatever, I've checked a bit. So yeah, and then you just click calculate. If there is any error, it will tell you. So here in my case, I think I click calculate. It's telling me there's an error somewhere because one of the field isn't actually entered my occupation. I'm pretty sure I did it, but maybe at some point I just didn't save. So I was an extra on some movie, and then you just go calculate, and it's just telling you, okay, you should be asked to pay that much. Someone else will review it, and maybe there might be a slight change, but they give you an estimate, which is pretty cool. It's not too much, and then you just tick the box and you lodge it. So right before you do the calculation, they ask you how did you complete your tax return. I did it myself. If you follow this tutorial, you'll be doing it yourself too. It's very important that you say that you declare it yourself. Tax help volunteer. You could probably go to some places, government places, and someone can help you just filling your tax. It's actually like, yeah, if you really want to be sure to make no mistake, maybe do that. And it's in some places it's free, like maybe in libraries I would think, or I know they have offices you can just look around and you just go. It takes a bit of time for you, but it's free and someone helps you fill everything in. Like here I say I did it myself. I think is very important that you say that because it's an official document. Everything you're doing here is official, so you shouldn't lie at all. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you for watching it. Taxes are not that complicated. And if you really need help, you have also the live chat on the website on the right, and like people can help you for free.